Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Myself, I am Surya Narayana, working as an assistant professor in DBSIT Kavali. Today, the presentation on power plant subject, which is for final year mechanical engineers. Today, I am going to explain Unit 2, that means Chapter 2 in power plant engineering subject, which is about steam power plant. Okay. In this chapter, we will discuss about it is split into two parts. One part is about only modern pressure boilers and supercritical boilers, and what is the comparison between modern pressure to supercritical boilers, and about handlings, coal handling and ash handling. Next, coming to part B, it is completely based on combustion equipment, that is graters, stokers, faders, retards, etc. Today in this class, I am discussing about part A, which is about supercritical and modern pressure boilers, and what is handling, and what first of all what is about coal handling, and second one ash handling. First of all, coming to unit 2, which is steam power plant. We already know that about power plant which converts one type of energy, that means one part of energy is converted into another type of energy. In that steam power plant, which converts chemical energy of fossil fuels, that means coal and gas, coal, oil, gas, which converts into mechanical or electrical energy. In this figure, I am showing that first of all, we are supplying the fuel. We are supplying the fuel in terms of coal or oil or gas boilers. Raising the steam, after raising the steam in the boilers, after then it expands through turbine. Okay, after then the steam is expanded through the turbine, then the turbine is connected to generator. After then the turbine is connected or coupled to generator, then the mechanical energy comes from turbine, drives the generator. Mechanical energy is converts into electrical energy by means of generator, then it's sent to grid system. What next, coming to what are the purposes by using steam power plant, we get following the two purposes. The first one is to produce electrical power. We already know that for electricity generation. After that, to produce steam for industrial purposes. Industrial purposes by means of textiles, food manufacture. In food manufacture, we are using steam. We are using steam for maintaining the firing, and paper mills, sugar mills, and refineries, etc. Next, coming to classification of steam power plants. Coming to classification of steam power plants, we have two classifications. One is central station, and second one is the industrial power station or captive power stations. We already know that the differences between power plants, steam power plants plays a main important roles for electricity generation. Coming to classifications, central stations and industrial power stations. Central stations are known as condensive type, but industrial power stations are non-condensing type. By in the central station, we are dividing. It is used for coming to. I am discussing about what are the differences in between central stations to industrial power stations. It is very easy to understand the what are the differences between central stations to industrial power stations. First of all, coming to central station, it is used for general sales. Central stations are used for general sales who wish to continue to purchase it. Central station. Industrial power stations are used for not for sales, not for general sales. Central stations are condensive type and industrial power stations are non-condensive type. Next, in central stations, why I am saying that it is a condensive type, because in these central power stations or central station, we are deviating, or we are dividing the steam. We are dividing the steam into condenser. We are dividing the steam into the condenser instead of sending it to atmosphere. And then the condenser, the pressure is maintained below atmospheric pressure. In that condenser, we are maintaining the pressure into below atmospheric pressure, and the exhaust stream is condensated. Because in central stations, we are dividing the condenser. We are dividing the steam into condenser instead of sending it into atmosphere. Because of that statement, I am stating that central station is a condenser type, condensive type. Coming to industrial power station, it is not used for general sales, but in this it is a non-condensive type. Why? Because it is not used for general use. It is it is run by a manufactured company for its own use. In this non-condensive type, the steam which has been condensed into water. That means in this, in the condenser, we are converting the steam into like a water. The water is again recirculated to boilers. That means continuous supply of circulated water into the boiler in industrial power station. These are the main important concepts in central station to industrial power station. Next, coming to layout of a modern steam power plant. In layout of modern power plant, we have following four circuits. One is coal and ash, air and gas, feed water and steam flow circuit. Fourth one is the cooling water circuit. This complete theory about four circuit have been studied in layout of steam power plant. First of all, coal and ash circuit. What is about coal and ash circuit? In coal and ash circuit, the coal is delivered from, in coal and ash circuit, coal is delivered from coal storage. After then maintaining particular coal handling equipments, then it is supplied to boiler for firing. That means for combustion. After combustion, the unburned gases or completed products about ash products are collected in backside of the boiler. That means in coal and ash circuit, the coal is delivered from the coal storage by maintaining particular coal handling equipments, and it's sent to boiler or furnace. After combustion, the completed products of boiler, that in means of ash products, can be collected in backside of the boiler. After then, air and gas. Air is taken in this. This one is the coal and ash circuit. This complete part will be coal and ash circuit. After then, second one is the air and gas. This completed. Second one is the completed based on air and gas. In this, first of all, I am showing that air in this arrow mark showing air is taken from the atmosphere and it is supplied to air preheater. Air preheater is used for sending the air by means of forced or induced draught fans into the furnace. By means of fans. After sending of air by means of air preheater to the boiler, then unburned gases or flue gases are escaped from the furnace into the atmosphere by means of chimney. Here I am showing chimney here. After then, third one is the feed water and steam flow circuit. In this, I am showing that this third one is the feed water and flow water circuit. In this, first of all, feed water. The feed water is supplied from the condenser. Already we know that condenser is nothing but heat exchanger. It exchanges. If we sending the cooling water to the condenser, it converts into hot water. If we send the cooling water, that means by means of, if we send hot water into condenser, it converts into cooling water. Then first of all, we are sending the cooling water from condenser to the low pressure heater. That means cooling water is sent to low pressure heater. After that, high pressure heater, then it is supplied to feed water by means of economizer. Economizer is sent to boiler. The water is supplied from low pressure heater to high pressure heater by means of pumps, feed pumps. The water is correctly supplied to the boiler or furnace economizer by using the difference between density between two pressure heaters. After that, cooling water circuit. Cooling water circuit. First of all, we are taking the source. Source is nothing but water from river or canal, and then cooling water is supplied to condenser by using circulating water pumps. Then it is supplied to after extraction pump, then low pressure heater, after then boiler feed pumps, then high pressure water to economizer, then finally boiler. First of all, we are sending the normal water, feed water. After then, furnace is fired. That means combustion is takes place. After then, it converts into steam. Steam is used to steam converts into superheater. So steam is converted by means of using superheater. Then it is converts into water is converted into steam. Steam is used to rotate the blades of turbine. Then turbine is coupled or engaged with generator. Generator is used for converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Then it is sent to three-phase supply. Okay, it is the complete explanation about layout of steam power plant. Here we have four main circuits. First one is the coal and ash circuit. First one is the coal and ash circuit. Second one is the air and gas. This one is the air and gas. Third one is the feed water and flow water circuit. Fourth one is the cooling water circuit. The source is taken from the river or canal. Finally, the conversion of mechanical energy into electrical energy by means of generator. Using generator, finally it is supplied to three-phase supply. These are the layouts of a modern steam power plant. This is theory about cooling water circuit, feed water and flow circuit. It is completed in figure explanation. Next, coming to components of a modern steam power plant. First of all, a modern steam power plant consists of the following components. First of all, boiler. In boiler, we have the classifications like superheater, economizer. These two components plays an important role. Superheater. Superheater which converts the water, feed water into steam. Economizer supplies the feed water into the boiler, which converts the feed water into light using water. Second one, steam turbine. Steam turbine which runs by using steam, which runs by means of by using steam. After then, condenser. Condenser is nothing but it is a heat exchanger which converts one type of, if we send cooling water to the condenser, it converts into hot water. Next, circulating water pumps. Water pumps, circulating water pumps are used for sending the water, feed water to the boiler by using density difference. Wagon tripler. Wagon tripler is nothing but sending, transporting or transfer purpose. Coal mill. It is nothing but it is a storage. Ash precipitators. Ash precipitators are nothing but ash collection points. Next, reheater, air heater, generator, mechanical to electrical, cooling towers. Cooling towers are used for sending the cooling water again to recycling purpose. Boilers. Boiler, feed pump, crusher house, inducer draught fans. Inducer or forced draught fans are used for sending the air to the boiler for raising the temperatures by means of inducer or forced draught. Boiler chimney. Chimney is used for escaping the unburnt or flue gases from boiler. Forced draught fans, control room, water treatment plant, switchyard. These are the main components of a modern steam power plant. Next, coming to essential requirements of a steam power station design. First of all, the essential requirements of a steam power station design are reliability. First of all, reliability. In this, reliability means sufficient resources are requirement to run the power station. Next, minimal or minimum capital cost. It is the initial capital cost or initial investment. After that, operating or maintenance cost, running charges, load, peak load. Peak load means we have to maintain on maximum demand. If we have maximum demand by user uses, then those loads are called as peak loads. User uses the electricity effectively at maximum loads. Minimum losses of energy, low cost of energy supplied to the consumers, reserve capacity to meet future demands. These are the essential requirements of a steam power station design. After then, essential requirements depend on large extent of the following: simplicity design, subdivision of plant and apparatus, use of automatic equipment, extensibility. Simplicity in design, that means essential requirements depend on the large extent of the following. That means the requirements based on large extent is based on simplicity design. We have to maintain the design is not complicated. We have to take in simplicity in design. Subdivision of plant and apparatus. That means the plant is divided into number of plants. Like one is divided for combustion products, one is for ash collectors and cooling towers and pumps, and like on we are dividing the subdivision of plants, use of automatic equipments. But that means we have to use the automatic equipments for transferring and collecting the materials. Extensibility. Selection of site for a steam power station. Selection of site for any selection that is related to steam power station or any construction, we have to following the basics. First of all, land. It is the main basic for any site selection. For any, in this I am talking about steam power station, but in hydroelectric power plant also we have to first of all select the land is suitable for construction of our requirement. In this, the selection will be steam power station. First of all, we have to select the basic of land on our requirement. Next, raw material for construction of steam power station. Next, transport facilities. Transport, first of all, we have to take the guidance from that point. It have the transport facility or not. And availability of labor. Availability of labor is nothing but we have to select the land. It is related to nearest to the point of men and labor. Load center, future extensions. Future extensions are nothing but we have to select the land. It is capable to extensions. That means we have to extend the plant from particular area to next area. Nature of land. Nature of land is nothing but availability of water, rocky areas, sand is available. These are the nature of land. Nature of land is nothing but in these cyclones. Next, crackings areas, and we have to see those lands are capable to construct the steam power stations as disposal facilities. Disposal means after a combustion, the completed products will be collected backside of the boiler. Those products are disposable to the particular area. Size of the plant is based on our requirement. It is to be large or medium or small. Public problems. Public problems are nothing but we are escaping the completed products or flue gases by means of chimney to the atmosphere, and those are hazardable to the public areas. Okay, we have to first of all maintain the public problems also and solve those problems by using our requirements. And then coal handling. What is coal handling? Coal handling. Coal handling is nothing but handling the coal from destination point to starting point to destination point. Starting point is coal delivery. In this, coal is delivered from the coal storage area by means of railway wagons. After then, railway wagons to unloading point. Unloading point, that means first of all we are collecting the coal from the coal storage by means of railway wagons. After then, it is unloaded to the underground point or into the hoppers by means of wagons. After unloading, it is prepared. That means it is splitted or into 10 mm or 20 mm pieces, and after then it is transferred to the outdoor storage by means of conveyors, conveyor belts or ropes or chains. Outdoor storage, then it is after sent to outdoor storage to covered storage by means of transfer points, conveyors, AGV vehicles, etc. In plant handling, after then particular weighing and measuring. We have to maintain on our requirement. It is, if in case I have to collect 10 mm piece of coal, then I measured the particular piece of coal and then sent it to furnace firing. This is about coal handling. In this, we have 9 steps from coal delivery to furnace firing. We have 9 steps or 9 procedure process. After then, outline of coal handling equipment. This is also related to these 9 steps, coal handling equipment. In this also I am showing coal handling equipment to furnaces. After then, fuel handling equipment. Fuel handling equipment is similar to coal handling equipment. In this also, we are collecting the fuel, that means of coal, oil, gas from fuel storage. Then the fuel is supplied to the crusher. Okay. In this coal handling equipment also, preparation is nothing but crushing the coal pieces. Crushing means splitting the pieces or crushing the pieces into small particles into our requirement, that is based on 10 mm or 20 mm, 3 mm or 5 mm. It is based on completely our requirement. Preparation is nothing but crushing the coal. After then transfer it to outdoor storage by means of coal conveyors. In this fuel equipment also, we are conveying, that means we are transferring the fuel by means of conveyors. Using of hoppers, we are conveying or we are transferring the fuel into crusher. Crusher is used for crushing the coal. If in case we are transferring or we are sending the coal like solid fuels like coal and coke, oil or gas. In this fuel handling equipment, I am sending coal, a solid fuel. Solid fuel is sent to, first of all, sent from fuel storage, then it is sent to hoppers by using of conveyors. Then again conveyor is used for sending the coal into the crusher. Crusher mixes the coal and splits like a 10 mm or 20 mm pieces based on our requirement. Then automatic weigher. Automatic weigher is used for weighing the coal pieces. Based on our requirement, automatic weigher is select the coal piece and send it to transfer tower by using of again conveyor. Then conveyor is again sending the coals into boiler hoppers. Boiler hoppers. These are the boiler hoppers. By using of boiler hoppers, we are sending the coal solid fuel into the boilers for combustion. This is about fuel handling equipment. Today in this class is concluded with coal handling equipment and fuel handling equipment. These are the two important basics in steam power plant in handling equipments, coal handling and ash handling. And today we are completed the topics about what is steam power plant and classification of steam power plants. Next, coming to layout of modern steam power plant. And here we are discussed the complete structure of layout of steam power plant and processes and circuits. What are included in layout of modern steam power plant: coal and ash, air and gas, feed water and flow circuit, cooling water circuit. After then, components of a modern steam power plant, then essential requirements of a steam power station design, then selection of a site for basic steam power generation based on base load or peak loads. Next, coming to coal handling, and finally ash handling, fuel handling equipment. It is theory about fuel handling and coal handling equipment. Okay, thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.